Happy Halloween, folks! Today, I have a very special debunk about an early 2000s classic, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Originally released in 1997, this movie follows the classic antics about a group of 20-something teenagers sitting at a campfire, making out, running over a man with your car, dumping his body into the lake, all while a serial killer is hunting them down one by one. Oh, come on, like we haven't done any worse in high school. By the end of the movie, 2 of our 4 teenagers are unceremoniously killed off. Those being Julie, our main protagonist, Ray, her boyfriend, Helen, the Miss Whatever pageant winner, and Barry, the asshole, unofficial leader who threatens their lives.
Let me hear it!
Okay, Barry, we take this to the grave.
But that's the kicker here, Barry. She doesn't have to. Because if you've done your homework and you looked over the events on screen, you'll find the most disturbing part of the movie isn't the hook hand killer. It's that if they just got him into their car and drove him to the hospital, not only would the events of the movie and the sequel be undone, but they only would have gone off with a slap on the wrist.
Impossible.
Oh no, it's not, Thanos, and I'm gonna explain why. But first things first, do not take what I say as an excuse to drive recklessly. Now I'm sure you don't need me to tell you about the dangers of drunk driving, or the consequences of it. But then again, that's the key word here, drunk. As in, you need your blood alcohol content to be this high in order to have your keys swiped from you.
Of course.
So with that in mind, let's review all the events of the movie. First off, we don't even need to go that far into the movie to get my point across. The movie flat out tells us they weren't drinking. See, there's Ray on the wheel and Barry being a jackass, and you wonder why they crash. We cut to 1 year later, and that's when the movie really starts to pick up, as our supposed corpse returns from the grave as a hooded figure, leaving behind cryptic messages for our 4 protagonists.
Here's Wet Banana. You can dash and splash on Wet Banana like Billy. Would that be Mom on Wet Banana? It is! Regular Wet Banana, 25 feet.
And so, the First Amendment.
So, you're being stalked and hunted by an unkillable psycho out for revenge. Now would be the perfect time to call the police, get yourself into witness protection, and you're not gonna do any of that, are you? Of course not. Sure, if the guy's alive, that means you technically didn't kill anyone. Oh, but then Barry would get in trouble with his dad.
Nobody cares!
So after failed attempt number 2,
Count 'em, 2.
of owning up to the hit and run, they decide to solve the case themselves, a la Holmes and Watson. This leads them to cause several legitimate crimes, such as harassing the townspeople and invading the privacy of the family members of the deceased. And for the cherry on top, 2 of our 4 stooges are now dead, including Barry. Can you tell I really hated Barry? Anyways, the movie ends with our hook-handed killer getting killed and drowned again.
I win, you lose, rinse, repeat.
But you know, now that we have all that to think about, if the law says the worst punishment they should get is indeed a slap on the wrist, is what they did really that bad? Of course it's that bad. What are you, crazy? I actually wanted to leave a link to a petition or something for non-drunk driving, but when I looked online, but they were all just your standard petition for drunk driving, which is great, but it's not really what this video is about. So instead, just spread the word around, and remember, you're responsible behind the wheel no matter what. Theory debunked.